Hello, everyone. Hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. We love that energy. Yeah. All right. So, first off, thank you so much for taking your time to join us here today in this session on Gen AI-powered BI platform. Right? We promise we will make this session as insightful as possible. All right. Now, I'm sorry. Before we step into the session, a quick question. Why are we here? Now, that's not an existential or a philosophical question, but why are we here at Zoholics today? Anyone? To learn, yeah? To collaborate? All right. Just an extension to what I just called out, we are here to solve some of our major business problems, right? Pressing problems that could be technological challenges, budgetary challenges, resource challenges, cultural challenges, people challenges, or whatnot. But if you take a closer look at these challenges, there's one common denominator that cuts across all these challenges, and that's nothing but the decisions that you make with the data in hand, right? That has a huge impact on the outcome, on how these challenges pan out within an organization. So for the next 20 minutes, I'm going to talk to you about how businesses can use Zoho Analytics to solve some of these business challenges, right? And quick introduction, formal introduction, I'm Ashwinth. I head the marketing team at Zoho Analytics. Now, to substantiate my claims, I have with me Chris from Spirax Limited. They are one of our key customers in this region. They have been with us for a very long time. And Chris leads the BI and analytics practice at Spirax Limited. Thanks, Chris, for joining us here today. All right, so here's the agenda for the next 35 tops 40 minutes. I will get started with a vision and journey, talk about some key capabilities within the platform, and then I'll hand it over to Chris, who will walk you through how they have leveraged Zoho Analytics at Spirax to drive business outcomes. Now, speaking about the vision of the BI product, the overarching objective for us has always been to enable businesses analyze data to extract powerful insights to make the right business decisions, enabling you to grow your businesses, right? Now, how did this vision of ours get translated into product offerings? The first one is in the data preparation and management side of things, where we have Zoho Data Prep that helps you to ingest data from any data source, helps you clean, prepare, transform, enrich, and catalog the data and make it available for the next stage, right? Could be you want to write it back into your databases, applications, or you want to move it to a BI platform, you can do that, right? The second important block is a self-service BI, or what we call Zoho Analytics. It's hosted on Zoho's own proprietary cloud, and it's also available on-premise. There's some companies, say, which are some industries that are very data sensitive, like, for example, banking, finance, healthcare. Now, they want to have the BI platforms installed on-premise. You can still go ahead and do that. Zoho Analytics can also be hosted on hyperscalers such as AWS, Azure, or GCP. The third important offering is embedded BI. Now, if you're an independent software vendor selling your own application and you want to power up insights for end users, you can package, rebrand, and embed the entire product, Zoho Analytics, inside your core offering to power up insights for your end users, right? Now, if I have to put together all the customers, within the Zoho ecosystem and outside the Zoho ecosystem, close to 75,000 businesses use Zoho Analytics day in and day out. That's the scale at which we have scaled up in the last few decades. Now, there are multiple capabilities within the product, right? Name it, you have it, right? All the way from ingesting data to delivering insights. But I've tried to kind of compartmentalize them or bucket them into 4 key blocks. That's unified data management and analytics, generative AI, integrated data science and machine learning, and finally, platform extensibility. I'm going to walk you through each of these capabilities for you to kind of expose you to ideas and possibilities of what and how you can leverage a platform like Zoho Analytics within your businesses. When it comes to data management and analytics, the primary objective here is to help businesses build a very strong data management foundation within their companies, right? Now, how can you achieve that using Zoho Analytics? We natively connect to more than 500 different data sources, something as common as a file URL to a business application all the way to complex databases or even custom applications, right? So we connect to natively to find data sources, but then to any data source using a robust APIs, you can set up these connections. Now, there is an end-to-end data pipeline builder that's built into the platform that helps you to orchestrate these data flows, enable transformations, and do a lot more, right from ingestion to destination. Everything is possible using the pipeline builder. Zoho Analytics also has a very strong semantic layer. When I say that, it's not just about enabling you to get data, but also model it the way you want it for your business, for the particular business use case, and make it available for the end users to analyze that data. Then comes AI, that helps you, that powers up the entire data management layer. I'm going to show you some examples, and Chris will also be talking about some examples of how they have put AI to effective use in terms of data management and analysis. Then comes your out-of-the-box reports and dashboards. When you set up integrations with native business applications that we connect to, we power up more than 100+ pre-built reports and dashboards for you to get started instantly. I want to circle this back to the point of helping you get to decisions faster, right? So these are some of the ways, some of the capabilities built inside the platform that help you to make these decisions sooner than usual. So you can blend data from different applications, say your sales data, your service data, help desk data, your finance data, your marketing data, blend them all together, mash them together for comprehensive 360-degree insights. That's also something that you can do. And the strong data governance layer built inside analytics ensures who sees what and to what data they get access to, and to what level can they get access to that data. Now, here's an example of how AI is powering the entire data management layer in Zoho Analytics. Without having to write a single line of code, right? You can see how the user is simply able to interact with the platform in the new programming language called English, right? So the user is asking the platform to import data from multiple data sources. The platform understands those questions, is able to execute those queries. The user wants to blend data from two different sources, like model it, build a joint there. The platform is still able to execute that. And then some transformations, examples of some transformations, like you can ask the platform to deduplicate a particular column, fill missing values and whatnot. So gone are the days where people had to completely rely on the IT teams, right? I would be wrong if I say you don't really have to depend on them, but the dependency has reduced, and you're putting those capabilities into the hands of business users. All right, moving to the second block is generative AI-infused analytics and insights. Now, coming to this capability here, these are some of the advanced AI capabilities built inside Zoho Analytics. Essentially, all of this, put together, when you tie these capabilities together, it helps you to drive adoption within the organizations, right? It kind of breaks down the barriers to codes, where earlier it used to be you had to code to even build a report, right? But we're way beyond that, right? It's not just about creating reports or dashboards, but it's far beyond that, right? And I'm going to show you some examples of where we have got to today. So the RZA has become a truly agentic layer inside Zoho Analytics, where it was once used for only building reports, but it can do many things today. Then you have ZIA Insights. I'm not going to spend too much time there because Chris has some powerful use cases to talk about there. Then you have diagnostic, predictive, and auto-analysis built into the platform today. Now, quick screenshots of some of these latest capabilities. So that's the one that you see here on the screen is ZI Insights. It kind of bubbles up contextual insights in the context of the report that you're trying to analyze, right? Now, for example, let's say the blue bars represent the total sale for across the months. Now, if you want to add all the sales, all the bars, and that's not going to happen anytime now, right? So the platform understands the context, and it kind of bubbles up these insights for you. What's the total sale? What's the correlation between your sale and spend and whatnot? That's what you see there in the form of narratives. Here comes a slightly advanced version where the first one kind of tells you what has happened within your business, right? Now, this tells you why this has happened. Could be a drop in sale, could be a spike in sale, could be a drop in cost, drop in profit margins, or whatnot. Now, you can run a diagnostics analysis on that data point to understand, and the platform gives you key drivers, top 3 or 5 key drivers that has contributed to that particular event. Doesn't end there. It also coughs up a set of recommendations, right? You can take them as guidelines, right? Tells you what you can possibly do based on these insights that the platform has delivered to you. All right. Now, here's a quick question for you. May not be the right set of audience to ask, but how many of you find analyzing data exciting? I have a follow-up question, and it's okay to raise your hand for the second time. What about this? Okay, so that's what Azia, one of the many things that Azia can actually do for you. We conceptualized Azia way back in 2018 as an enabler to simply build reports, but over the last 7 to 8 years, we have built in multiple skill sets and actions where Azia is now truly agentic. You can create reports and dashboards, table stakes, what we used to do. Now it can perform descriptive, diagnostic, and predictive analytics. You can custom create data stories. For example, you want to put all your presentations together, reports together in the form of presentation. Azia can help you do that right within the platform without having to switch applications. You can trigger actions like sending emails, exporting reports, and also it's built in with reasoning that can tell you what you need to do based on the insights that you infer. Now, moving to the third important capability, that's data science and machine learning. It's offered in 2 flavors. One is Code Studio, and the other one is AutoML. Code Studio is all about enabling you to build your own ML models or do your own data transformations using the Python coding studio available inside Zoho Analytics. So you write your own Python scripts to build your own ML models, and both the Code Studio and the AutoML capability can help you manage the entire ML lifecycle, right from building ML model to training it, deploying it, to fine-tuning it. Everything is possible. The only difference here is Code Studio is a code workbench where you write your own codes. AutoML comes with pre-packaged ML models, right? It helps you to kind of pick the right ML model for that use case. I'm going to show you an example here. For the want of time, I'm not going to pause this, though I would love to do that. But I'm going to try and find out if my customers are likely to churn or not. So these are the different parameters on which I define if a customer is likely to churn or not. Could be the age, gender, location, salary, etc. And then I move on to pick some pre-built ML models. So you can see decision tree classification, random forest classification, and few other ML models. So I picked 3 ML models for this particular use case, right? And I go ahead and I train these models, and the platform gives me a model score. So I picked the model that has the highest model score, probe a little further, try and understand how these calculations have done, the platform has done these calculations. So this is the element of human in the loop where you get to validate the results. It tells you the weightages where it has assigned and whatnot. So once you're done, right, you can deploy the ML model. And how does this look for an end user, right? So suppose you want to deliver this capability to a business analyst. You may not want them to build these ML models or deploy them, right? So it's going to sit, the outcome is going to look like this. You have one column added to your table, on top of which, I mean, that tells you essentially if that customer is likely to churn or not, on top of which you can go ahead and start building reports and dashboards. So that's an example of your customer count versus age group versus gender, right? So you want to do an analysis of your products purchased to attrition, whatnot, everything is possible here once you have that column added. So the AutoML capability is essentially, it helps you pick the right ML model for that use case, whereas Code Studio helps you to build an ML model to have it deployed. But needless to say, both the capabilities help you to manage the entire ML lifecycle. Now moving to the final capability on platform extendability. Now, Zoho Analytics is a highly composable platform. This means we have engineered the platform in a way in which it works seamlessly in any tech stack. It's not a one-size-fits-all, right? It has to be customized to different business requirements. Now, how do we say that? First one is we have our own MCP server, right, where the tools in Zoho Analytics is exposed, where you can query in a client, from a client environment, say the ChatGPTs of the world or the GitHubs of the world, get access to your data and the tools built inside Zoho Analytics for end-to-end analysis. That way, it works with any LLM of your choice. I also spoke about embedded BI. You can embed the entire platform inside another application. BI Fabric is an interesting capability. Now, large enterprises today don't stick to one or two applications, right? I have come across customers who use 6 to 7 BI applications. We're talking about unification of insights. It's just not possible with that. So the BI capability is one such feature built inside Zoho Analytics that helps you pull in reports from multiple BI applications. For example, you have a report from Power BI, you have a report from Tableau, you have a report from Zoho Analytics, all sitting inside one single pane of glass, giving, it becomes like the machine control dashboard or the console for the entire business there. So that's the power of BI Fabric. The platform is also extendable. We have comprehensive SDKs. You can custom build connectors, set up connections with any data source. And also, there are a lot of novel ways of telling stories, right? So you can build your own microsites using Zoho Analytics with the integration with Zoho Sites. You can power up presentations with live embed reports and dashboards, not having to screenshot them, but then they're going to be live and interactive within these presentations. And finally, we have a very strong actions framework within the platform that helps you to configure actions based on the events that happen within the BI platform. Now, here's an example. So this is a rebranded, embedded BI at work, right? So FindPick CRM it's a third-party CRM, fictitious application, of course. So FindPick CRM is a fictitious CRM application, and you can see how the analytics inside FindPick CRM is powered by Zoho Analytics, but then that's not visible anywhere, right? Under the hood, it's Zoho Analytics at work, but it's completely rebranded to the likes and dislikes of FindPick CRM there. So you can also see that it's not just only the platform that can be embedded, but individual components of the platforms, right? Could be a report, could be a dashboard, or even Arzia here, right? So we call it Find AI. So that's a rebranded version of Arzia. That's also available inside another host application, completely rebranded, so seamless that way, so native. Now, here's an example of the MCP server. So this is a GitHub environment where the user is interacting to the GitHub Copilot, right? So you can see the answers getting populated. So to put it in a nutshell, right, it's essentially helping you leverage the power of another LLM in conjunction with Zoho Analytics. You have your data in Zoho Analytics. You have the worldly knowledge sitting inside a LLM like, say, ChatGPT or Copilot. You are able to combine the power of both to analyze your data efficiently. So it's not just a one-way street where you ask questions, but you can also write back into Zoho Analytics. You create a report, you want to put it into a particular workspace, you can still go ahead and do that. And that's going to happen towards the end of the video. I'm going to wait for a few seconds just to show you So the user is trying to generate a chart, and here we go. So some more explainability on how this request is being processed, and then the user is able to generate a chart, and towards the end of the video, you can see how you can write it back. Here we go, into Zoho Analytics. All right, so just to summarize, so Zoho Analytics is a powerful platform. Why do I say that? 4 key elements helps you build a very strong data management layer within your organizations. It's Gen AI powered. I showcase some of the capabilities here. Decision intelligence, giving you the right insight at the right time, or what I call actionable insights. Finally, you don't have data science and machine learning completely separated, but you can see the convergence of the two inside Zoho Analytics. So with these key ingredients packaged inside Zoho Analytics, we kind of are able to deliver transformative business outcomes. All right, so now to back my claims, I have here Chris from SpareX. So I'm going to hand it over to Chris, and he's going to walk you through how they have effectively used Zoho Analytics at SpareX Limited.